So it's 9:58 right now. We're live at Brooklyn Borough Hall. Just want to go live. No, like recorded it today. Just want to go live and shit like that. Basically, right now you see there's the Yes to Prop One rally at Brooklyn Borough Hall steps, People's House, hosted by Andrew Gundaris, the guy down there. Uh, Basically, he's running with minimal opposition. This guy he's so. Oh yeah, you got those Dan Goldman people here. I like Dan Goldman, but I mean, hey, I like Dan Goldman, but hey, people are ready to protest the guy. I mean, it's America. Unlike other places, they play their little games, but this is what happens when you run minimal opposition. So basically, I mean, that's how we run minimum opposition, guys. You have enough time in the world. Hey, what's up? What's up? Morning. So basically, this is I voted it. Oh, you voted? So basically, this is the rally supporting Prop One. Orchid Family Party endorsed this thing. So basically, um, the funny thing about Dan Goldman is that he's gonna run with minimal opposition. This district is so gerrymandered, and it's so gerrymandered in a certain way. It just really tough to like. He's hard to like be defeated. He has like what South Brooklyn and shit like that, and South Brooklyn, South Brooklyn, and all these areas. It's like, yo, he's hard to beat. Just like this fucking guy right here, Andrew Gonzalez. He's hard to beat too. Really hard to beat. So let's keep that real. Yeah, I'll take one. Yeah, of course. Thank you. I think they're going live. Excuse me, please. Ma'am, you gonna be here?
I'm here for 30 minutes.
I'm gonna be here. Excuse me, please. You're right in front of here. Cause I'm trying to cover it.
So am I.
I know, but I don't think you need. Yeah, I think it's sure.
I'll move over a little bit.
Yeah, please.
You know what happens to me? I always get a spot and the new 12 comes in and it literally pushes me out of the way.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
To fight.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I don't do that type of stuff. I'm just. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, okay.
That's all I need.
No, there's plenty of room here. I thought you were just some random guy.
Yeah.
News 12 comes in. That's it. We got our spot here.
The people, the NYPPA, they worse. The New York Press Photography Association, they like the worst. They the one that will shove you out the way.
Right. But at least they move. News 12 comes in and they say, look, I got a rig.
Like Lloyd Mitchell and all those people, they will push you out. They'll literally push you out the way.
Yeah.
So.
Also, the Fox guy will push you, literally push you out of the way.
26. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I'd be like, what do you think of volunteering next Saturday? And I'm like, that's so far ahead. I can't tell you that. Okay.
Well, it depends. I think it's like in
Mine like
okay. Tyler's wings is doing it.
Yeah.
So there will be a call to action. The organizing has done it. Yeah, they will not be doing it like
No, I agree. And there's going to be lawsuits.
Let me get a picture of you.
Yeah. I am literally like a distributor of which is like from Prospect Heights,
Mercedes.
We haven't started yet, but
What's up?
Okay. That's right.
doesn't matter, right? Okay. So far, we're just kind of like chatting.
Close it out by 11:30.
I don't know what's a billboard when you do this. I got like, if you wear like a shirt.
I didn't get my camo hat. I ordered it like 30 minutes.
I know.
Me ones. Screen, please. Sorry. Don't vote the Dan. What's my for?
So, we're here, obviously, yeah.
Don't vote the Dan.
Really?
Great. You gotta be there for 10:30, yeah.
What? Oh, cool. Get started, yeah. Well, close to 20, so 20 officials. Yeah, no, that's...
Well, at least the 7 minutes you've been here.
30 years.
Hey, Dan. Any an extra one for your wife?
Yeah, I will say. Great shirt, Diane.
It's loaded.
That's the moment.
Guys, I tell you, I had a run. Oh, you have a bigger size.
Really?
Yeah, you got that hat. Why not? Didn't you?
This is the adventure.
And you're trying to come through okay? And he doesn't see you moving. I'm gonna say hello to her.
It's right when you run mental lock position. You know what I'm saying?
Can I give you a?
Leo, say hello to the other Dan. Another Dan. Mini Dan.
Hi, good to see you.
2016 Wells.
Congratulations.
An hour to get there, though.
Hi, you want to run around a little bit?
Look at him. Hey. Josh. What do you want to do? That's what Joanne was saying. There was a line. Right, yeah. That's great. That's very encouraging. Very encouraging.
Hi. Yeah, I was at the beach.
Us? WF.
Looks like we got it covered, right?
Yeah. Gotta head to the Bronx after this, so
I
this
know, I
is
got to be somewhere.
this shit better than ever.
I tell you, what do you
That's the thing about Joanne. She shows up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're all.
Oh, Joanne, you're always doing stuff when my camera's not ready.
Okay, you start it, everyone will follow. Right? That's the.
TikTok, we got TikTok ready.
Yeah, the moment, yeah. Use it for everything.
Ay, 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 ay.
Hi.
Is it good?
Can you hi?
Oh, she's so...
Let me get one over here. The scariest thing is Halloween. JD Nance's copy of Project 2025. Let me do a good one. Yeah, that's good. Okay. This is the scariest thing is Halloween. JD Nance's copy of Project 2025. Alright. Okay. 80% are Trump officials. Good morning.
Good idea.
Nice.
People want to think that it's like not nothing more than it's serious. We all.
Yes. You want to hold the baby?
Corey, Corey, all right, let's all. Yeah, maybe.
Killed by Project 2025.
They're trying to disrupt it. Trying to decide from.
Okay. Everyone ready? Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you all for being here today. I'm State Senator Andrew Bernardis, and we're gathered here for one clear and simple reason, because we all believe in equal rights for all. It sounds so simple and so obvious, but it should go without saying. It should be a self-evident truth reflected in our laws and in the way that we treat other people. But unfortunately, we are living in a moment where we do have to say it, loud, clearly, and repeatedly. Because across the country, we have seen Republicans launching extremist attacks on fundamental freedoms, including and particularly the right to choose what happens with your own body. 14 states now ban abortion entirely, and 8 more have restrictions that violate the standard once set by Roe v. Wade. And we've all heard the horror stories. In Mississippi, a 12-year-old girl who became pregnant after she was raped near her home was forced to give birth after being unable to access abortion care. In Texas, Kate Cox was forced to flee the state for emergency care after the court ruled it would not let her get an abortion, despite a fatal fetal diagnosis that posed grave risks to her health and her fertility. And let's not forget about Amber Thurman in Georgia, who died in a hospital because the doctors would not and could not treat her because they were afraid of their own criminal prosecution. But it's not just access to abortion and reproductive health that we're concerned about. LGBTQ rights are also under threat. Last year, the Human Rights Campaign declared a national state of emergency for LGBTQ Americans after legislators around the country introduced hundreds of bills banning teachers from talking about LGBTQ issues and blocking access to gender-affirming care. So where does that leave us? Here in New York, we don't have to watch helplessly as all this unfolds. This election day, starting right now with early voting, we can enshrine basic rights into our state constitution and ensure that New York remains a beacon of freedom and opportunity. And that's because the New York Equal Rights Amendment is on the ballot as Proposition 1, and we are here to ensure that it passes this year. The ERA does a simple thing. Let's applaud for that. That's a good one. What about the ERA? The ERA does a simple thing. It prohibits discrimination based on ethnicity, national origin, age, disability, sexual orientation, and gender identity. It also blocks government actions designed to limit access to reproductive health care. This means that no state leader can ban abortions or criminalize miscarriages. It means that domestic abuse victims can hold their abusers accountable. It means that judges can't take children away from their parents because of their parents' sexual orientation. And it means that blocking policies that make it harder for seniors or people with disabilities to be able to exercise their right to vote. This is common sense. We all believe and we all know that it is common sense. But it has not stopped Republicans across the state from waging an incredibly disingenuous disinformation campaign to tank the amendment and deny New Yorkers the rights that we all deserve. Republicans across the state are stooping to scare tactics because they know that their positions are unpopular. And so we can't take it for granted. Although we might all be aligned in believing that we support equal rights for all, we know that we cannot simply rest on that belief alone. We have to make sure that we pass the New York State Equal Rights Amendment to enshrine these protections into our very state constitution. And by doing so, we will send a clear message across the country that we believe in human rights and we rejected any attempts to criminalize people for expressing their identity or accessing health care. So right now, as early voting begins across our state, the fight for a better future for all begins right here in New York. So please remember, when you go vote, flip your ballot over and vote yes on Proposition 1. We have a few speakers here today, and first I want to call up the campaign director for New Yorkers for Equal Rights, Sasha Aluja. Sasha?
Thank you. Good morning, Brooklyn.
Good morning.
We gotta do that again. Good morning, Brooklyn.
Good morning.
Happy first day of early voting.
Woo!
Raise your hand if you plan to vote.
Right.
Excellent. Raise your hand if you're going to tell 10 people to vote.
That's right.
20 people. 30 people. Amazing. Folks, we got to get the job done. My name is Sasha Aluja. I'm campaign director for New Yorkers for Equal Rights. We are a coalition of over 500 organizations around the state that have been working day in and day out to talk to everyday New Yorkers about the fact that our lives, our bodies, and our futures are on the ballot this November. What we need to do when we show up to vote is to flip our ballots and vote yes on Proposal 1. Now, State Senator Andrew Bernard told us a little bit about Prop 1. I'll tell you a little bit more. Prop 1 is a measure on the ballot that does two important things. We are protecting abortion in the strongest possible way here in New York on our state constitution. And second, we're making sure no New Yorker can be discriminated against because of who they are. Whether they're disabled, whether they're an older adult, or whether they're LGBT, their rights will be protected in our state. Now, this is no easy feat. There is a lot of noise in New York. There are many, many elections and many, many candidates that are running for office. But when New Yorkers go to the polls, we know that our rights are on the ballot. Our freedoms are on the ballot. Our reproductive health is on the ballot. It is so important that we flip our ballots this November and do the thing that feels so easy. We flip our ballot and we vote yes on Prop 1. In addition to candidates that are running, this is such an important job for us to do. We cannot take this fight for granted. Now, the opposition knows that abortion is popular, and the opposition is trying to distract New York voters in every way possible, spreading lies and misinformation about Prop 1. But let us be really clear. Prop 1 is about our rights, it is about freedom, it is about protecting abortion and making sure that no New Yorker can be discriminated against because of who they are. So when I say yes on, y'all are going to say Prop 1. You ready? Yes on.
Prop 1.
Yes on.
Prop 1.
Yes on.
Prop 1.
Excellent. I'll pass it back to State Senator Bernard to take us through our program.
Thank you very much, Sasha. And now I want to call up the co-director of the New York Working Families Party, Anna Maria Archila. Anna Maria?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Happy first day of election, early voting. I am so excited to be here today because today we get to actually do the thing that is promised to us, which is to determine our future together. That's what elections are. It's when we show up and we say, I am with you, I am with you, I am with you, I am for all of us, and I am going to make sure that all of us have freedom, all of us have rights, all of us have a democracy that exists every single day and that delivers a better life for all of us. What is on the ballot right now is our reproductive freedom, is our constitutional protection. We almost never get the opportunity to make our Constitution better, and today we will. We will make it better by making sure that abortion care is protected in the state of New York, by making sure that that there are stronger protections against discrimination in New York, which are protections that we will need no matter what, but especially if Donald Trump becomes president. It is not a future we want to imagine, but it is a future we must protect ourselves against. I want to take a moment to just thank Sasha, who's there, and the team, the volunteers that have found across the state to remind people that they deserve all the rights that are promised to us, that they deserve all the opportunities that are promised to us. The campaign for Prop 1 is actually giving people a very affirmative reason to vote this November and to overcome the fear and the uncertainty of these elections, to say, I am here for everyone to have better rights, better protections in our Constitution. So today, my organization, the Working Families Party, is planning across the state to tell people, vote for Kamala Harris and flip your ballot and vote yes on Prop 1. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ana Maria. Now, some might ask, why does this matter? Why do we need to even put these protections into our Constitution? It's already a matter of state law, so what's the big deal? Now, I'll tell you what the big deal is because state laws can change. You can elect governors, you can elect legislators who don't believe in the values that we believe in, and who can very easily wield their power in the future to change laws, to criminalize abortion, to criminalize miscarriages, to deny LGBTQ New Yorkers their fundamental rights. But if you put these protections into the state constitution, then nobody can mess with them. Then nobody can touch them. Then no future governor and no future legislature or no future elected official can come along and say, and use their pen and try to weaken these protections and make life more difficult for New Yorkers. That is why this is so fundamentally important, and which is why we are campaigning and arguing so vociferously to make sure that we adopt and ratify the New York Equal Rights Amendment. Now I'd like to call up to say a few words. The Assemblywoman who represents this neighborhood, my partner in Albany, Assemblymember Joanne Simon.
Thank you, Senator. So he did the moment of geek that I was hoping to mention about state law. That's okay.
But you do it better. You do it better.
So I'm Assemblymember Joanne Simon, and I have voted. I voted early.
That's right.
I turned my ballot over, and I voted yes on Proposition 1. And I want to be very clear about what Proposition 1 is and isn't. First of all, it does not change any laws in New York. It doesn't take away parental rights. It doesn't open our borders. It doesn't allow people who are undocumented to vote in our elections. It just doesn't. I have seen, there's a commercial on that I saw on TV the other day, was all about nonsense about immigration. National origin is protected, oh my God! Well, by the way, that's already in the US Constitution, boys and girls. So let us not be deceived by the misinformation, by the scare tactics. They have two things that they do. They throw money at something and then they scare you with disinformation. Don't fall for it. This doesn't change parental rights at all. It just says that you can't, government can't discriminate against you because of who you are, whatever that is. It also says that you are entitled to treatment if you have any kind of pregnancy complications. So yes, it's a right, it enshrines a right to abortion in our state constitution, but also pregnancy outcomes. And why is that in there? Because contraception would be protected. The right to aftercare if you have a miscarriage would be protected. The right to medical care if you have a complicated pregnancy, even if you deliver, like we had the story the other night that we heard from a woman who delivered her child in a difficult pregnancy, wasn't able to expel the afterbirth, and then was denied medical care and almost died. Ended up having surgery, and she's permanently scarred. This is an outrage, and that is what will happen. That is what could happen in our state if, God forbid, somebody becomes governor who is in fact like a Republican. And by the way, we had a tough gubernatorial election a few years ago, right? And so the guy who was running absolutely lied to his teeth that abortion was protected in New York. It's as simple as that. But having been in the state Senate in the majority, and we know there's a big difference if you're in the majority, he knows how to use the budget to achieve his results. So let us not be fooled by people saying, oh, everything's fine, everything's fine. It's not fine. We have to make it fine. We have to make it in the Constitution. We need your help. Vote yes on Proposition 1. Thank you.
Woo! Thank you very much, Joanne. I think the takeaway so far that everyone should think about is, if you think it can't happen to you, it will in fact happen to you. That is why this is so important. Before I call up our next speakers, I do want to thank a number of the organizations that helped co-sponsor this event with us. Independent Neighborhood Democrats, Central Brooklyn Independent Democrats, the Brooklyn Young Democrats, Lambda Independent Democrats, the Brooklyn Kings County Democratic Committee Party, as well as BK Forge. Thank you all very, very much. And now I'd like to call up City Council member Crystal Hudson for a few words. Crystal?
Thank you. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
That was great. Thank you. I'm not going to repeat everything that everyone has said. We know how important voting yes on Proposition 1 is, or Proposal 1. I'm chair of the Aging Committee in the New York City Council, and so I just want to throw in yet another protection that Prop 1 will actually codify in our state constitution, which is discrimination against age. We need to be mindful that as we age, as we grow older, and those of us who are lucky enough to do so here in New York City, we are not an age-friendly country, we are not an age-friendly city, we are not an age-friendly state. We're trying to get us to become one, or to be better, but this will codify protections for everyone and anyone, no matter your age, no matter your gender, your sexual identity, no matter where you came from, what color you are, everyone is going to be protected. And the one thing I do think is worth repeating is, don't believe the hype. What the opposition wants you to think is that this is going to create new laws, this is going to prevent parents from making the choices that they want to make for their children. It does none of that. What Proposal 1 does is simply codify our protections for every single New Yorker across the state into our state constitution. There is absolutely no reason not to vote yes on Prop 1. So please, when you vote, turn over your ballot and vote yes on Prop 1. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Crystal. Now I'd like to call up another one of my colleagues from Albany, State Assembly Member Bobby Carroll.
Good morning. Thank you, Andrew, and thank you all who helped organize this wonderful event. And now I'm not going to go into detail like the other speakers did about why we should vote for Prop 1. I think we know that. But I think one of the things that we should remember is the history of why we're here today and why we drafted Prop 1 as we did when we did it in Albany. First, we're here because of an activist Supreme Court. We're here because of activist judges and activist Republicans throughout the nation who have decided to rip up fundamental rights for 330 million Americans. And so the New York State Legislature has made it very clear, we're going to protect 20 million New Yorkers, because that's all we can do. And when we decided to protect New Yorkers, we didn't decide to draft a proposition that would just narrowly tailor to abortion. We knew that we could do so much more. And we did just that. We made sure we protected a woman's right to choose and pregnancy outcomes and contraceptives, but we broadened that, because that is what the modern Democratic Party does. It makes sure we bring everybody along. And that's what Prop 1 does. Don't believe the fear. Make sure you turn over that ballot and vote for Prop 1. Make sure you don't vote for 2 through 5, or 2 through 6. It's early. It's early. I don't like number 6. I don't know what number 6 is. And I urge everybody on this first day of early voting, if you aren't registered, I'm wearing a golden tie because it is Golden Day. You can register to vote and vote on the very same day at your early voting site. So please go out and vote for Prop 1. Thank you, Andrew, and everyone who helped organize.
Thank you very much, Bobby. Now let's call up another member of the New York City Council, and that is Councilmember Rita Joseph.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, colleagues. I think you heard the message loud and clear. I'm Councilmember Rita Joseph, representing the 40th Council District. Flip the ballot, vote for Prop 1, and no to the 6. It's clear. And I've been out there passing this message also in Haitian Creole to make sure that the Haitian community know what's on the line. So language access, very important. So I'm going to be heading out there by the polls to make sure we get the message out. Thank you, state colleagues, for drafting this. This is amazing. And thank you for our continued partnership. Thank you to both of you, and thank you for having me here.
Thank you, Rita. Now, another member of the New York City Council who represents the location where we are currently rallying in front of, and that is Councilmember Lincoln Ressler, who I guess was just doing some gardening.
We have a street sweep care event happening on Henry right now, if anyone wants to come volunteer. Thank you, Andrew, for organizing that one. All of the trees support Prop 1. So before we talk about Prop 1, did you have a chance to wish Bobby Carroll a happy birthday? We won't say how young he is, or how young he used to be.
Still young. Really? We're going to do that?
I just am deeply proud to support Prop 1. It is absolutely essential for us to enshrine in our state constitution the right to an abortion, plain and simple. And at a time when abortion rights are under attack across our nation, New York needs to be the beacon it has always been, and stand up and protect abortion now, today, forever. And we need to protect against discrimination against all of our neighbors, LGBTQA+, older adults, as Krista was saying, folks with disabilities, everybody who suffers from discrimination in our communities. I am proud that Prop 1 is on the ballot. I am proud to support it. I am proud of the campaign behind it. And we, New Yorkers, know what we need to do. We need to vote for it. And I'm confident we are going to overwhelmingly support Prop 1 at the polls. So let's get out there and vote. Happy early voting. Thank you. It's a great coalition for your support.
Thank you very much, Lincoln. Bobby, I didn't know you shared a birthday with Zelman. That's really great. Perfect.
Hillary Clinton.
And Hillary Clinton. Look at that. Hillary, Bobby, and Zelman all together. Now I'd like to call up another one of my colleagues in the state senate, in fact, and that is my colleague, State Senator Julia Salazar.
Thank you so much, Andrew. Hi, everyone. Our message today is clear, but we cannot say it enough on this first day of early voting. And from now to Election Day, we need New Yorkers to show up, get yourself to the polls, turn over your ballot, vote yes on Prop 1 and no on Propositions 2 through 6. I was very proud, along with my colleagues, to vote in support of the Equal Rights Amendment twice, as is required of us in order to amend the state constitution, but now it is up to the voters and the fate of the Equal Rights Amendment. We will know after Election Day, and that is why it is so important. We really are depending on New Yorkers to show up to the polls and vote in support of Prop 1. We need to add access to abortion, the right to an abortion, to our state constitution, but additionally, we need to protect our neighbors from discrimination based on gender identity, discrimination based on pregnancy outcome. We know how important it is for us to educate voters about ballot propositions, because unfortunately, due to low turnout and other factors, we have seen really important and popular ballot propositions fail in the past. So we cannot take this for granted. We need everyone to show up and vote yes on Prop 1 today in early voting and through Election Day. So thank you so much for being here and for being part of this movement for the Equal Rights Amendment.
Thank you very much, Julia. We were also joined earlier this morning by Councilmember Mercedes Narcisse, but unfortunately she had to go to a funeral, so she could not stay. We've been saying all along that we can't take this for granted. And just yesterday in the news, it came out that out-of-state billionaires are pouring millions of dollars into New York State, a state that they have no connection to, in an effort to defeat the Equal Rights Amendment. Out-of-state billionaires pouring millions of dollars into New York to try to tank the ERA. We should ask ourselves, why are they doing this? What's in it for them? And this is all because it is part of the Republican conservative agenda to deny Americans and to deny New Yorkers their fundamental rights and freedoms. That is why we keep saying over and over and over again, we cannot take this for granted. Even if you don't believe that this amendment applies to you, it actually does apply to you. It applies to each and every one of us. Because, as we've said, all it takes is a governor who does not share our values. All it takes is a legislature that does not share our values. All it takes is a county executive to sign an executive order targeting immigrants from certain countries. All it takes are county legislators trying to pass book bans and trying to ban access to health care in their counties. That is all it takes. And so we know that the tool and the solution that we have at our disposal is to enshrine these fundamental rights into our New York State Constitution so that no one, regardless of party, by the way, can ever take them away. That is why this coalition stands so proud in support of the Equal Rights Amendment. That is why we need Brooklyn to show up for the Equal Rights Amendment. And that is why we are going to successfully ratify the Equal Rights Amendment at the ballot box this November. So remember, when you get your ballot, vote for president on down. And then you flip that ballot over. And you have to vote?
Yes.
On? Yes on? Yes on? Yes on? Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.